Apple pie is a popular dessert across the world, although many people assume it to be American. It's not. However, because it's been part of America and the food in the country for a long time, people just assume it's always been American, and also because it's popular in McDonald's, and apple pies are on the menu in different countries. And McDonald's being an American company, that adds more to the reason why people think it's American. One of the main ingredients in apple pie is apples, and apples that don't originate in America. So if it did start in America, then they'd have to use something else apart from apples. So apples, the main ingredient, and the pie itself don't start in America. Apples, they were mainly found in Asia, and particularly in countries like Kazakhstan, and people used to bring them to Europe through the Silk Road, and people during those times, people used to grow apple trees so they could have a claim to land. Growing back then, if you did something to the land, I believe it was yours or something along those lines. And also, they used to turn the apples into cider because, well, to them it was better than water. Um, and the first written record of apple pie dates back to 1381 in England, so not even America, although it's not invented in England either. During 1381, around that time, it was different to what it is now, and it included things like figs, raisins, pears, saffron, and other spices, which were also from the Silk Road trade. At that time, sugar was expensive, so you wouldn't really find sugar in there. And just like the Cornish pasty, uh, the, the the pie crust wasn't meant to be eaten; it was just used to carry the filling. So it was purposefully made so you wouldn't eat the crust. And today's apple pie has its roots in 1514 in the Netherlands, and even if you see the pies in the Netherlands today, and the way it's designed and how it looks and feels, it's similar to what you'd see nowadays. And the first written evidence of apple pie was in 1697, introduced by Swedish, Dutch, and British immigrants to the America. The and the settlers, they themselves began to say that this is American, and not realizing the origins of it, were to do with many different cultures and countries. And now, if you ask anyone in America, they'll say, if you ask them to name an American dish, I'm pretty sure many will say apple pie is an American dish. People even outside of America, whether it's in Europe or anybody anywhere else, I'm sure people will think of apple pie if you ask them to name an American dessert. However, we can see that it has an interesting and a very complex history, and many different cultures had a part to play in creating this dish that now America claims as its own.